me see. You're live. Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Oh boy. Yeah, we're gonna have to work on the camera angle or whatever. It definitely's got a wide camera on it. I'm sure there's adjustments for that. Just yeah, everybody makes this look so easy. Is it showing? I'm telling you, people make this look so easy. Let's go up just a little bit. Oh boy. Let's see if my moderator is going to say hello so I can make sure he's still the moderator. Yeah, so I think what's confusing me is I can hear the backlash on my phone. Oh, See, I don't hear myself when I'm talking, so it's confusing me. I didn't. It's just I think it's confusing me because I have my phone and I just need to cut it off, but I don't hear. I don't know how this works. I guess it works right. I guess I'm not supposed to hear it back feeding. I guess I'm just so old school, like talking on a CB radio, like you can hear yourself. So I guess maybe that's what I'm thinking. Is it's confusing my brain? Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, my moderator needs to comment so I can make you. Even though I doubt there's going to be a whole lot of people in here. Most people are probably going to bed, and we're just trying to check out this camera. Right. Uh, it's confusing me, that's for sure. Keep telling everybody I'm not that computer savvy. It's a wonder I've done as well as I've done with all this YouTube and stuff. Uh, it definitely wasn't something I thought I would ever do. It's definitely something God wants me to do because, okay, yeah, it's listed. All right, thank you, Robert Hendricks. I know they say that's the best way to get watch hours is to go live. I think I hear your phone in the back. I don't know if they can hear it too, but it don't matter. And we're trying to figure it out. I think earlier I hit the mute button on my little speaker, thinking that maybe I was turning it on and I turned it off. So I went back and watched the chat and it cut off halfway through. It said I was thinking that for some reason I was supposed to hear myself come through the speaker, but I was just hearing it come through on my phone. So it was confusing me. My mother-in-law just texted me. Well, say something on the chat, Miss Mother-in-law. Will we just re? Let me see what she said. I can see the whole thing. I can hear you, but I cannot. So you still can't hear me. We logged out and ended the streaming, and then we reloaded it. So far, I know Robert can hear me, and Melanie, A Godly Home, can hear me still. So we're just got a new camera. Well, actually, our computer we bought about, I don't know, 6 months ago didn't have a camera and a mic. So we were kind of just waiting. So we finally got a camera. And it's a camera and a mic combo, which I'm not too wild about the camera. I guess there's settings because it's kind of wide view. You know, you would kind of want it to go in a little bit more so you don't show everything in the background. But this is our utility office room in here. So it is what it is. Mother-in-law messaged me. It's just she can hear me. Or she could see me, but she couldn't hear me. That was earlier. Now we redone it, so it should be able to, you should be able to hear me and see me now. And your son's being stubborn. He doesn't want to come over here. He doesn't want to be on YouTube. He don't want to be on live chats. I know she hates that because she wants to see her son because she's in Pennsylvania and we're in Louisiana. But that's what he wants. He doesn't want to be all over the internet. So I really didn't have an agenda, something to talk about besides just trying to figure out how all this stuff works, because I'm really not sure about some of it. And I know it helps build your watch hours. And my channel's so tiny, but I need to get practicing. Since I'm over my 500 subscribers, I can start building watch time. No, I'm not muted. And I wonder why she can't hear me. Let me text her back.
She's watching the first
Let me tell her. But she's watching the first one. Let me tell her to watch the second one. Now I'm getting real technical. Trying to, yes, Godly Home. All of this stuff makes me nervous. I've never been one to really even share my life with anybody. And it was just, I don't know. After I got hurt 5 years ago, probably longer than that now, I just felt like there was something that I could be doing to share my life with others. And one day I was just watching some other YouTubers, and the Lord just spoke to me and said, just start sharing your story. Start sharing what you know, your frugal lifestyle, and just have fun with it. It'll give you something to do, give you some purpose. Because I knew I could never probably go back to work. So I just kind of started doing this as kind of a side hobby from just my normal lifestyle and homesteading. So I heard the door open, so maybe my husband's coming over, but I don't know. Yeah, and Godly Home, I was definitely, I don't know if you're still on. I don't know if we can see, if I can see who's still on. But I heard another YouTuber, and I didn't get the lady's name. She had another channel, and she said that I think my mother-in-law posted on the other live that was already over with, probably just watching it. But she had said that she gets up out of bed and she has grandchildren that she's raising, and she said that she was tired of seeing people getting dressed up for their live streams or even just their videos that they make. And she was talking about just being real and transparent. And I'm like, well, you know what? I just jumped out the shower and let my hair dry naturally and said, okay, I'll walk over here next door, which is where the computer is in the laundry room. And we'll just play around with the camera before we go to bed tonight, give us something to do. It's kind of yucky and rainy. And of course, there was no good programs on TV, which we don't watch very much television anyway. So I said, I'm going to go ahead and get on here and play around with it while there's not very many people on here. So I can just be comfortable as much as can be expected and try to figure this thing out and just play around with it a little bit. So yes, it's very hard to just throw yourself out there before the world, especially people like myself with high anxiety, and you just have to get past some of that and just, it is what it is. We're not, everybody's different. We're all individuals. Everybody's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. That's just part of it. You know, it's just how it is. And then some people don't know how to take people that's so real and so down to earth. So people get offended. And I try not to offend anyone. I try to always be positive as possible. Try to be encouraging. Try to leave friendly comments on other people because, I want to practice what I preach too. So, and if I have anything to say personal to some of my regular YouTubers that I hang out with or talk to regularly, I'll just go ahead and email y'all or text y'all. I mean, some stuff just don't need to be put on here for everybody else to hear or know about. Lots of people have personal prayer requests, and I mean, you get to know everybody, even though we're all over the United States, which is oddly enough, most of my subscribers and the people that I talk to regularly, there's a handful of them in Maine, and there's a couple of them in Pennsylvania, not just my mother-in-law. So there's a lot of Northerners. So some of us is connecting from the North and the South, which is pretty cool. I find it fascinating, the similarities in the lifestyles and the foods that we cook and just different things that, I don't know, I guess I was always thought it was just really different, but I think the world's gotten more to a middle ground on things. It's not that so different no more like it used to be a long time ago. So, oh, hello. Life. No. If we worry about offending someone, you'll never get to life that way. Because I mean, you don't have to do anything now when people get offended. Yes, hello, living my best life at 60. Yes, as good as it can be, right? So we're just trying out the live for the one that just came on, living my best life. I've never really played around with the live, so kind of being brave tonight, transparent, just getting on here and uh, trying it out, see how it works. My channel is tiny, but they say the best way to learn how to do it is just jump on here and go for it and figure it out. So that's what we're trying tonight, which I would think probably most of my lives would be in the evenings because I do not sleep very well. So I probably would do some of my lives late. So I think that would be kind of a benefit later on whenever I actually start doing like a topic or something. So, oh, well, that's cool. I'm sure yours is a lot better than mine is because this is all brand new to me. But I'm trying to figure it out. We were just talking about it. It's kind of makes us nervous at first, I guess. But, I remember doing the YouTube channel. And when I first started, I was so bashful and so, I don't know, even embarrassed for my husband to watch me make a video for a little while. He just made me nervous. He's like, how can I make you nervous? You're fixing to post this for the whole world to see. But I don't know why. It just made me nervous. So I started just making videos more or less by myself. And then he helps me sometimes. But I tend to be more nervous. I don't know why he makes me nervous sometimes. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Somebody with different ones, might not be able to sleep or whatever, and just seeing who's out there. This is my first actual live. I've done a live once before. Oh, I don't know, probably almost a year ago. But it was just in the yard with my animals. But this is the first time actually in front of the camera and just trying to figure it out to see how it goes. I had to cut my cell phone off because I could hear it in the cell phone. And for some reason, I was thinking I would hear myself in my computer speakers, and that was messing with me. So I think it's better now. Yes, it's harder in front of family. I don't know why. It made me so bashful, and it made me nervous. And I don't know why. It was just, but also I'm not the kind of person that likes to like exercise in front of people. I get very bashful and tickled. Uh, very tickled with it. Me and my sister years ago, whenever we were, I guess we were, well, I must have been in my early 20s because I had my son, decided to join a fitness gym. And this was when the gyms was just starting out. And it was a whole bunch of us. And my sister and two other friends of hers were really, really, really overweight. And I was always pretty much knees and elbows till I got older. But those girls were big girls. And they had a sauna in there. And they had well, what was it? I guess it's a sauna, a steam room. And they wanted to know if we wanted to all go in there and hang out after we exercised and done an aerobics class. And the whole time we had the aerobics class, they had me rolling laughing. I couldn't even exercise. I just laid there and giggled. I think I was about 24, 25. And then they went up in the changing room, and it was just all women's, no men, just women's fitness club. And they wanted to go in there. So I'm like, well, okay. I don't have a bathing suit. I'll just wear my bra and underwear. Them girls stripped off butt naked. And I just about died. I had never seen nobody chunky, that chunky, except for my sister, nude. And then they wanted to go in there and sit around and talk and gossip and hang out butt naked. And I about freaked out. I was like, there's no way I can do this. And it's just an image that I'll never forget. It was just hilarious. So my sister's going to kill me probably for telling that story, but so yes, I I get embarrassed pretty easy. And here I was already married and had a kid, and none of them did. But yeah, so no, I don't. It was surprising that I was even considering having a YouTube channel, and then now I'm playing around with trying to go live. So it was definitely a huge, big step for me, a huge step out of my comfort zone. I mean, I have done some performances like with sign language and Christian music for church, and I do all right with it, but I'm very shy with it. And even whenever we were in high school, I played the trumpet in school. I was the only girl the whole entire time that I was in school that played the trumpet. And then after I was out of school, one little girl started playing the trumpet. But before that, it was like 30 years before they had seen anyone, a female, play a trumpet. So I did great in class in different things that we went to. But when it was time to like march, I refused to march. I didn't want to do football games. And I was just as good as the guys were. Was so bashful I couldn't do it. And so I never did. So the finally after the first 2 years of that, the music director wanted to lower my grade because I wouldn't march in the band and I wouldn't do football games. So finally he just realized there's nothing I can do to encourage her. I'd take a grade less in band or whatever I had to do, but I refused to walk. So yeah. And I love playing the trumpet, and I've played it at church before when I was younger, but that was the first time I played in front of an audience. I think I was like, oh goodness, I might have been between 12 and 14, and I was so nervous then. So it's a huge step for me to get on here and do all this. Let's see if I miss it in the comments. Yes, there's my neighbor's here, and he went into the other room, and I had turned my phone off. I figured out it was definitely messing with me too, with the echo. And yes, Godly Home. I didn't even get undressed. I think I just went in my workout clothes. Then I think I went in there for like 5 minutes, and I got out and went and got in the shower and got dressed and just sit outside and waited on them. I couldn't do it. But they was totally fine with it. And here I was, a normal sized person, and I was not okay with it at all. I was like, oh no. And I love my sister to death and my brother both. They were always kind of chunky. And now I'm chunky, but man, I wasn't that. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is I was not that confident. They were a lot more confident in social butterflies, more so than I was. Definitely. Goodness. Well, thank y'all for stopping in at the chat and really just trying to figure it out. I thought my mother-in-law was going to come in here, but I guess she didn't figure it out. Let me check my phone and see if she messaged me back. I think she must have got on the other one. That was unless she's on here and she's not saying nothing. Tell her to say hello. Oh yes, definitely. Things have definitely changed. It's terrible. No. Don't see if mother-in-law's on here. Yeah, I think that's just part of growing up and maturing. Our body matures with us. Oh my goodness. I think it's kind of late. What time is it where you're at, Godly Home? I think you're close to the same timeline as her. I think she's an hour ahead. And it looks like it's about 9:05 here. So it's probably 10, maybe, or 11. 10, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure who would still be up. I mean, I know some people stay up late, and we would normally have church tomorrow, but I've still been a little bit dealing with this cold. So I think I'm just gonna we're gonna miss tomorrow. We had missed because of me having a cold already. But I'm better, but it's still I just would hate to get anybody else sick, even though no one else here is getting sick. It's just been rough, and I know it wasn't the C thing. It was just a very bad cold and flu, but I'm having some other health issues with my thyroid. So my immune system has gotten kind of down, and you can see on this live, my eyes are kind of black under them. And that's just part of it with the thyroid. It makes you tired. It drains you. But anyway, it's hard for me sometimes to keep up with my own schedule, but I'm determined I'm going to get it done one way or another. I'm trying. I really want to do this, and also I'm doing it so that it's a journal, a video journal of my life, because I don't really like writing a journal book. And since my grandkids live in Texas and I'm in Louisiana, they can watch the videos and see what's going on with their mom. So that was kind of how it started, was that, and just me wanting to do something to give back and share my life with others, because I just was starting to feel like there's nothing I can do no more. But then God opened up a door. He said, there's a lot you still can do. So that's what I've been doing. I never really was one to write in a journal. Like, my sister always had a diary and she wrote all kind of stuff in it. I just never was one to write stuff down. And I don't really know why, but I just didn't. So this seemed much better for me to just write in a journal. Instead of writing in a journal, then I could just start recording stuff that I do on a regular basis with my cooking and frugal tips and working in the yard with the animals and, just sharing stuff like that so my grandkids could go back and not actually just read notes. They could actually see it and learn from it. I mean, they're little right now. Who knows? I mean, I'm already 50. In 30 years, they'll all be grown. So, we don't know how long we're going to be here. So I thought that would be amazing just to have something to leave uh, on my channel with stuff they could go back and see. And I was going to say, I asked my father, he passed in March 20th, 2020, did he want me to, and I wasn't recording then or had a YouTube channel, did he want me to tell anyone anything or write down anything or make videos of him saying anything? He said no. He told everybody everything he wanted them to know, that, the ones that wanted to be around was around, and the ones that wasn't, they were the ones that missed out on it. So, I mean, I was kind of like, that was what he wanted, so I respected it, but that also made me kind of think, I don't want to do that. I want to leave something. I want my grandkids to have something besides just someone telling them stuff about me or a picture or a journal. They actually can see me and watch a video. So, and I think I've run into several others on here that's kind of started that. Now, a couple of channels I know, they've quit making videos, but they were kind of doing the same thing. They were recording stuff so that their kids and grandkids would have it. So, I guess we all just got different reasons, different goals, different plans. I'm going to message my mother-in-law one more time and see. That's right. I mean, I think that's just, how cool is that? If we could go back and see our grandparents and see what they've done and how they lived their life. And it's just, I just think that would be so cool. I saw you on I can't see with that in my way. But yes, the other day I got on her live. I did earlier. Yes. Yes, she told me to go ahead and start trying to do the lives, and a lot of people just jump on, and plus it'll help with your watch hours. So that was pretty cool. But they all make it look so easy, and they're so comfortable and so relaxed with it. But I guess we'll get there. It's going to take a little while. So living my best life at 60, I'm going to have to go check out your channel. I think I've seen it before, but I'm not sure. Maybe it just seems familiar from Misty's chat, maybe. I'm going to have to go check it out. I usually try to subscribe to everyone if they tell me they subscribe to my channel or not. And then I kind of just give it a little bit of time and see if we're content, if we have a lot in common or whatever. And just, I try to support everybody. There's lots of small channels. And I was doing a lot more shout outs to a lot of them, but then I wasn't feeling good myself, so I kind of got off my own schedule. I know a lot of channels that I've given shout outs to are doing really amazing, so that is hats off to them. That's wonderful. You know, that's great. I'm one of the ones that cheer everybody else on, whether my channel grows or not. It makes me happy that their channel is doing great. Yes, definitely. I try to be positive too. The world needs more positive people, more encouraging people. Oh, goodness. And I try not to tell my problems on my channel when I do stuff. I'll talk a little bit, and I've had a couple say, "Oh, quit talking so much." But it's for us, this is our life. We're not just trying to get rich off of YouTube. I'm not trying to get rich at all. I'm just doing it because it's something I enjoy doing and sharing my journey with others. So, well, hello and good night. Hello, Misty. Yeah, I was just telling them how easy you make it look. This is my first time, so I'm trying. That's fine. Hopefully, your grandmother's doing better. I know you said you're spending more time with her. Will you be safe tomorrow traveling? And they were supposed to be getting a bunch of rain tonight and a storm coming in. So who knows? I might get kicked off of here myself. I don't hear it raining right now, though, but it's supposed to be coming in the middle of the night. Yes. You have a good night, Godly Hum. Mm. I don't know how long I'm going to be on. I'm just going to just stay on. I'm going to probably try to stay on an hour just because, I mean, I know everybody keeps telling me it's the best way to build your watch hours, and we'll just chat with everybody and see what's going on. Have a good night. Living my best at 60. I'll definitely go check your channel out. I keep making notes of all the new people because I usually forget the names and then I go back and so happy to meet you and thanks so much for stopping by. Mister, are you still on or are you not on? I guess everybody's fixing to head to bed. I'm going to try to stay on probably till almost 10 p.m. my time so that I've been on for almost an hour. You have a good night. I'm still playing around with all the settings. I'm not really sure still everything. I'm still trying to figure it out. I think it's pretty self-explanatory for the most part. It's just brand new to me. Everybody done got kind of quiet. I'm not really sure if anybody else is still on. I don't know. If somebody else is still in the chat, say hello. Because I don't know. I think I see two up there, but I'm not sure if that's right. And now I got something popped up that I don't know how to close. Huh. I guess I better quit. I guess I better quit pushing buttons. Okay, so I know one person's still on. Trying to stay on for about an hour. So I guess it's just one of those things. It's kind of a waiting game. See if anybody else stops in until we get more organized. I think there's only two people watching. I know one's the moderator. So let me look at my phone and see if I can figure something out. Well, looks like only two people still on there. Same thing as my computer showing me. So, did my moderator hit the like button? Oh, my nose is itching, y'all. I've been blowing it so much. I don't know who the other person is, but I thought Misty was going to be on here for a minute, but I guess she's out already. Yes, I'm real formal tonight. I'm in my robe. Just decided to come over here after my bath and figure out how this live stuff works. So what's the temperature at your house, Robert? Pretty hot here in the south. You would think it would be cold. It's December, but it's not cold at all. It's like been 70 all day, and it's muggy and humid and rainy. I I never know which way to look. 62. Yeah, that's about right. Got a little bit of a delay, huh? What are you doing? Yeah, there's some kind of glare, huh?
It's coming through the window from the nightlight.
Oh, oh my goodness. Yeah, I think I can see it shining through the curtain. Oh well, we'll figure out all the kinks later. This was just a test run to see how everything works and start figuring out how to do it. They said that's the best way to learn how is to just get on here and try. And I keep looking over here at my screen. I'm not looking at the camera. So, jeez. I'm not really sure where to look at just yet. Welcome to the chat, the live streaming. Somebody else just stopped in. I'm not doing anything formal or any certain topics. I've told a couple stories about being shy. That was earlier, so y'all missed that one. Everybody keeps telling me the best way to learn how to do it is just to start doing it. So here I am. I guess buckle up and put your seatbelt on. You never know what's going to happen. I keep telling people that on my channel. I'm such a I can't even use the words that I used to would use. Like I like all the colors of the rainbow. Because God made me that way, and I do a little bit of everything. I'm just very adventurous person. I'll try just about everything at least once. I guess I'm kind of brave. Maybe some people would say kind of gutsy. I don't know, but I will give it a shot at least once. So y'all getting the raw and the real right now. What you see, because what you get, you could see I hadn't been feeling the best. I've been struggling with my having a cold and thyroid problems. My eyes are saying black underneath them. So just doing the best I can. Just trying to keep my channel going and keep up. And that's what I was telling them earlier. Keep up with my own schedule. I set a schedule on myself. Stay on schedule because I like routine. But when you don't feel good, it's really been kind of tough to keep up with everything and keep pushing myself to keep going. And then when you feel bad, everything else kind of gets piled up. But, it's real life here. No one's trying to put on a show or do anything fake or anything. This is just a journal of my life. So I hope everyone's doing good. I see there's a few in the chat. Go ahead and say hello. Introduce yourself. That's what we're doing. Just getting to know each other. Go check out each other's channels. I don't really have a topic tonight. I'm just literally just running a test run of seeing how this lab stuff works. Hey, Godly Home. Mm. Yeah, well, I used to call it go flip the laundry. I used to work at a hunting lodge, and that was where I got hurt at. But I was the head of the housekeeping for the hunting lodge, and I would go tell the lady, my helper, or she would tell me, "Hey, go flip the laundry," or "Did you flip the laundry?" Somebody had to go run back and forth to go put the stuff in the dryer and put a fresh load on. So it was pretty cool though. It was a good job. I liked it. I still wished I could still do it because it kept you in good shape. It was busy work. You didn't deal with a lot of public or anything. You interacted some with some of the guests, but most of the time they were already leaving by the time you got there. So it was pretty cool. Pretty much set your own routine, your own schedule. We had certain times we had to be there, but it worked pretty good. Oh my goodness. I wish we had a basement. We don't have basements here. I always wanted a house with a basement though. Yeah, it was cool. It was good. I mean, we usually it was two or three of us that worked, and we just knocked out the job. People would come stay the weekend and go shoot skeet or hunt, guide hunt, and it was mostly men. And sometimes we would have like me and my husband actually got married there. We were the first one that had a wedding there, and but they would have a lot of meetings and stuff there with like the gas and oil companies would come there and have a meeting, and they would do a big cookout. So they'd have like an event there, and that was always pretty fun cleaning up after them because they didn't usually stay the night, but we just had to clean the main areas and not all the rooms. And they would always leave great tips, and they would feed us, so that was always a bonus. It was great. So and it was mostly seasonal because just mostly during hunting season, and then they started doing a kids camp during the summer. So every week different groups of kids would be there so that it would make us make a little more money during the summer to clean up after the kids. They would stay a week, and then we would just go through and clean the whole entire place, and then they would have another group of kids come in, like 12 boys, and go through teaching them hunter safety and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, we watch some of that sometimes. We don't watch a lot of TV, but we do watch some of that. Um, the Swamp People, I think. My aunt I think we're actually kin to one of the ones, and my aunt is best friends with one of them's husband. So we know some of those people that's from Louisiana that's on that show. And we used to watch it when it first came out, and then like every show, it starts out really good the first couple of series, and then they start changing it up, and then they totally lose us after that. If they would just leave it like it is, I think it would be better. But yeah, the Swamp People. It was pretty funny when it first came out. We liked it. Yeah, the one of the guys doesn't live too far from us, and we used to go to the what we have here is a strawberry festival, and they were just like part of our family. They would hang out with us and do barbecues and do family Christmas parties with us. The guy's wife was really close to one of my aunts. And when we were younger, we all got together a whole lot more than we do now. It's probably been Oh goodness, maybe 15 years since the whole family's actually got together and done anything, but we used to do it all the time. And then it just kind of, everybody started getting distant. But yeah, Mr. Bruce, that's the one that wears the overall. Sometimes his wife gets him to put a t-shirt on underneath it, and sometimes he doesn't. But he's, of course, is our favorite because we grew up around him and his wife. Wonderful people, great people. Yeah, I've got pictures somewhere floating around where he dressed up as Santa Claus one time and we all took pictures with him. So, yeah, Mr. Bruce and his wife, Janice. His wife and my youngest aunt are really good friends, but we've known them for years, way before that. And then his family, his wife's family, actually has a little small alligator farm in our area that they've had there for, shoot, I guess maybe 30 years before the show even came out. They were known for having alligators and stuff. We could go there and they would do a jambalaya cookout sometimes, special events and stuff, and let you see the alligators hatching out the eggs. And it was fun. I brought my son there when he was little and he got to see all that. And then here we are years later. He's on the Swamp People. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, he's a mess. So you just never know when you get to talking to people on these lives and how much more you're really going to get to know about them and who they know, and quite interesting. And they all probably live about an hour from where we're at, but I used to live closer to them when I was younger, to that part of town, the lower part of the parish, I guess you could say. Yeah, we're in Louisiana. We have parishes instead of counties. I'm on the upper end of my parish, and they're kind of on the lower end of the parish. So I'm way in the country. So you would, yes, that's the name. I couldn't remember it. I would love to try it if I ever come to Louisiana. I hope to do it. The hope to do what? Go, trying to shoot alligators or whatever. We used to go when we were teenagers, called gigging frogs. We would go out there at night with a light and shine the lights and try to get frogs. You just kind of you catch them, or you basically you kill them because you have a spear like thing and you just grab them with it. You just basically nail them, and that's how you catch them and have fried frog legs. We did that as teenagers, and it was great fun. um, but you had to be careful because sometimes those eyes would be just a little bit further apart than the large bullfrog, and it would be a baby gator. So you had to be careful. So you had to have somebody that knew how to drive the boat really, really, really good. So whenever you eased up on them with the light and your spear, they had to put it in reverse if we thought it was alligator and hang on so you don't fall in. So it was a lot of fun as a teenager at night. Something fun to do. Yeah. You'll see gators just if you ever go down the rivers and stuff around here. There's a lot of sloughs and stuff. You'll see alligators just like you see any other critters. They're all over the place. Not so much out here where I'm at, but they do have rivers close, and you do see them in the rivers. They're all over. It's fun. You just gotta be careful. Ha! I'm back. You just light up in this. Okay. I thought you probably were in bed. Mother-in-law just made it back in. You just missed the story about the alligators. Just like your son when he first came to Louisiana, he wanted to knowing he was get to see an alligator. He didn't get to see one in real life until me and him, when we were dating, we went to oh goodness, I think it's called the something to do with Tabasco, the Tabasco making business, like way like 3 hours from us. But they had alligators in a swampy area, and he finally got to see a real live alligator. And I thought he was just gonna start hyperventilating. He was so excited he couldn't believe it was a real alligator just a couple of feet away from him. Well, good evening, Rough Cut. So yeah, he was plumb excited. He finally seen an alligator. And then of course after that we started seeing them everywhere. So it wasn't a surprise no more. But how you doing, Rough Cut? I'm just trying out this live thing. So just not really a topic, just kind of talking, telling stories. So glad you stopped in though. I definitely enjoy you and your channel. Sicily's Island. I don't think it was called Sicily's Island. It could have been, but it's where they make the Tabasco, which is everybody in Louisiana. Rough Cut probably knows. The Tabasco is a place you can go tour where they make the Tabasco. They have a bunch of gardens and stuff there. I was trying to think what the name of it is and where it was at, but anyway, that's the first place my husband saw an alligator because he hadn't been to Louisiana long at that time when him and I first met. Avery. Yes, I think that is where it was, if I'm saying it right. Yeah, yeah, I think so. But yeah, he was surprised too. I think that's something people that's not from around here, they want to see if they can see an alligator. So yeah, Avery Island. That's it. Thank you. I figured you probably would know. I'm not good with names. I swear, I'm terrible with it. I'm better than I used to be, but still, I forget. But yeah, he was so excited. I was just telling my mother-in-law, she's on here right now, that they're from Pennsylvania. My husband's from Pennsylvania, and he had never seen a live alligator until we went there and we finally seen one, and he just was shocked. And of course, he's seen a bunch since then, but at that time, he'd only been in Louisiana about a year when we met. He had never seen one in real life. So now he's like, okay, cool, it's just alligator. If we go fishing or something, he's been got used to it. He's been here, I guess, close to 7 years now. If not, it's close to that. So let me tell y'all a story real quick about fishing. So we went to this state park, and I'm a country girl. And this was after we first got together, after we first got married. We went fishing, but it was hot enough to go swimming too in this little river. So I decided I was going to just take a dip, and I had shorts on and everything. My bathing suit was on underneath my clothes. I had a t-shirt on. So I'm like, it's hot. I'm going to go swim first. Then I'll be cool while I go. I'm going to be cool while I fish. So my husband was working on my fishing pole and got it going. And then he had to sit down and work on his fishing pole. So he said something about an alligator. And I'm like, it's way over there. It's not going to bother me, right? I've never had an alligator chase me or anything. So I had no fear whatsoever. It was down to the end a little bit. So, no, Godly Home, he's from Pennsylvania. But so I went ahead and he's like, hey, there's alligator down there. I'm like, okay, yeah, he's down there a little ways. It's okay. He's probably more scared of me than I am of him. So next thing I know, he's like saying alligator. I'm like, what? What do you mean alligator? He's like, alligator. It's like 4 feet from me when he tells me the alligator's right there. I'm like, you could have told me before he got that close. So of course I backed up out the water. I was just on the edge anyway. And that thing started coming towards me. And I've never had an alligator come towards me. So apparently someone at the state park had been feeding the alligators, which is why they tell you, you ever see signs when you come to Louisiana, do not feed the alligators. Yeah, don't feed the alligators. Don't crinkle potato chip bag because they will come to you like puppy dogs, thinking you have a treat for them. So anyway, I backed on up, eased on out, and went on across the way a little bit. And my husband was about ready to take off through the woods on the little trail there. And I'm like, he ain't gonna come all the way up to the bank. There's no way. They usually don't. Well, we had a little ice chest there with some snacks in it. Oh yeah, he came on up to the bank, tried to get a hold of that ice chest. He shook it around a little bit. My husband's like, "Oh, I wish I could have brought a gun up in here on the state park." I said, "You can't shoot him." I said, "I'll just call the park ranger and tell them that somebody's been feeding alligators and it's dangerous because this is a walking trail through here. You know, it could take out somebody's little dog or a small child." And so they came right out. It took care of it. They said they were going to have it removed and take it somewhere else. But so, yeah, I have never had an encounter with an alligator that actually was coming like to come to me. And he wasn't really coming to get me. He was coming after my bobber. And because my pole was thrown off, my husband had it sitting beside me after he got it fixed, and I was just sitting there playing in the water on the edge. So he was actually coming to the bobber, and then whenever we walked away, he saw the ice chest there, so he went to go check it out. And so my husband's like, "Oh my gosh, you said them things wouldn't chase us," and I told him they usually don't. They usually go the other way. For whatever reason, though, that one had been being fed by someone. So don't ever trust the alligator if you see one. If one comes close to you, don't run, don't freak out, but back away and keep your eye on it and try to get away from it. If you get so far from it, usually they'll back off. So anyway, my husband, so he waited forever to see an alligator. Then he really got to see an alligator. He thought it was going to eat his wife. Oh my goodness. Yes. Hilarious, y'all. But yeah, so no, my husband came down here to look for a job. He was in the Navy for 20 years, and he had a buddy that moved down here, and well, he a buddy that was from Louisiana, so he had told him that there was a lot of places hiring around here back 4 or 5 years. Well, I want to say it was 7 years ago now that he's been here. But anyway, so he came here for a job and stayed with him for a little while before he got his own place. And then about a year after he was here, him and I met. But you would think he was born and raised here. He does everything everybody else does. He doesn't seem like he's a northern boy from up north or anything. So he definitely fits right in. And his mom doesn't like spicy stuff, but him and his brother love Cajun cooking, the spices. Sorry, mother-in-law. She likes some stuff, but she says it's too hot. It burns her mouth. But my husband eats all of it. He totally eats everything I eat. Just for the most part, I don't think there's anything. He probably eats more stuff than I would eat, actually. Have I ever eaten one? Yes, we have eaten fried alligator. I've probably eaten a lot more weird stuff than a lot of my northern friends have, I'm sure. It's not like something all the time. Even whenever my grandson was little, we had some fried alligator, and he absolutely loved it when he was little. But yeah, I like it fried. I don't really like it any other way. I mean, and I don't think I've ever even tried it any other way, really, actually. And I've had pet alligators too that were little. We used to live by an alligator farm that raised them for meat. And every now and then, when they cleaned out the big houses, they would wash through the drain and they would just run all over. So sometimes we would find some in our back field. So yeah, we had some for pets before. We didn't keep them very long. And they weren't big enough to hurt you or anything. They were just literally like babies, like maybe a week or two old. And we would sometimes we would find them like around 3 to 4 foot in a little ditch that went around the property. They would get out and hang out in there. But if we ever did, we called the game warden, and they would come and bring them back or release them in the swamp. And so, but yeah, we are fried alligator is yeah, Robert, it is really good. I mean, I guess it's like anything. If it's not cooked right, it might not be good, but it's pretty good. I guess the Southerners just kind of have tried all kind of stuff, and they like it. I know when I was a kid that I had an uncle that had a camp on the river, and they made turtle stew. I don't remember liking the turtle meat, but the stew, the gravy that it made from the turtle was absolutely wonderful. I don't remember liking the turtle meat per se, but the stew, the gravy that it gave from the broth from it was just a totally different, unique flavor, but it was actually very tasty flavor. So yeah. Wow, so I guess alligators are getting all over the place. I just saw your message, Miss Karen. Yeah, I think they're pretty much just all over now. I know they had some really cool albino ones. Those are really neat if you ever see any of those anywhere. There's not a lot of them, but there was a few on the lake in our area, and they weren't completely albino. They were just had some of their body was white and some of it was regular dark greenish looking. But they're pretty cool. I've seen them in some of the museums. Their whole body being white. We've seen like mixed looking ones in the swamp or whatever in the lake. Well, my goal was to stay on for about an hour, and I've made about an hour. So I think was a pretty good test run just to see how everything was going. I know it's getting late for some of you. It's a lot later than it is here. So, Mr. Rough Cut, have you eaten turtle stew? If you're still in, I'm trying. Uh, let's see if Mr. Rough Cut's still in here. See if he's ever eaten turtle stew. I've got a feeling he probably had some kind of turtle something. Oh yeah, yeah. I kind of figured that. Now this one y'all gonna get a kick out of this one. So we went to one of the I guess it was the Gonzales uh what you call it, the sportsman show or something like that. Yeah, Snapper and yeah. So we went to the sportsman show, and the I guess it was in Gonzales in Louisiana, but they had a bunch of weird foods and turtle and alligator, and they had this one booth that smelled absolutely amazing. They had Nutri-Rat, and it was stewed down and like barbecued and made like a barbecue sandwich, and it smelled so good. So my son was a teenager, and my ex-husband, um, we were all trying stuff. They were giving out free samples. So I'm like, I'm gonna go try it. I mean, it's food. It's gotta be good. And I didn't have time to think about it being a Nutra rat. I just thought, oh, I'm gonna be brave. Like I said, she's brave. She'll try it. So I went and got some. It was in a little cup, and I put it in my mouth, and I was chewing on it. And my son's like, what are you trying now? He said, it smells good. I said, this is that barbecue Nutri-Rat. He said, you're eating a rat? And about that time, the realization that it was a rat hit my head and my gut, and I felt like I was going to throw up. I ran to the closest garbage can and just spit it all in there. So I can't really say I've ever eaten Nutri-Rat, but I can say I tasted it. So y'all, yeah. I guess just it tasted fine, but just the thought crossed my mind that my son just asked me, Mom, you're going to eat a rat? So yeah, I don't think I'll try that one again because I don't know. It tasted all right. Yes, snapper is delicious. Soft shell. I like some snapper. I like some bass. I know a lot of people don't like bass. Like they say it tastes too swampy, but I like some. If you cut it and it's thick, you bake it or fry it. Oh my goodness, it's really good. I mean, we eat all of it: bass, brim, catfish, sunfish, sailfish, whatever they have out there. Pretty much. I mean, the only thing I know we don't eat is the alligator gar. I know there are some people that likes all that, but we don't eat that. Which has been kind of hard to find a place to go fishing ever since the pandemic started. They closed down a bunch of stuff and they haven't opened it back up. So, yeah, they say it's not rat, it's related to the beaver. Well, yeah. And we ate a lot of raccoon growing up when we were kids too. My daddy used to barbecue it and we liked it. And I don't know that I'd like it now, but I guess if I had no choice and that's what we had to survive on, then yeah, I guess our palates would just adjust because we wouldn't want to starve. And I'm really more of a vegetable person. I love different types of meat. Venison's probably my favorite. Roast, rice and gravy and biscuits. Oh my gosh. But not really a huge meat eater. We do eat meat. We're not vegetarians by far. I've always was raised around hunting and stuff, so I like to eat if it's cooked right. I'm not very picky. I just tend to like more vegetables and stuff. And I love to eat fish. We like to eat a lot of fish. Yeah, they say it's just a little more fishy tasting. Well, maybe if I ever come visit you, you can cook it up for me and I can taste it. It'd probably be good. That's what I've heard. I mean, I know people do love it. I've just never tried it myself. Rough cut. Do you have an email on your pay on your channel? Because I really would like to get with you and meet with you one day. I have a couple more on my bucket list. Couple in Mississippi. They're not too far away from us. We're gonna meet up with them and have a little picnic and just hang out. Okay. I guess I just haven't seen it. I don't know. I might have. I don't think I've emailed you before. I may have. I always say that's the best way to do it. Don't share out personal information on here. Just I try to email people if I have questions or they have questions so that we can just not do it on the live or in the comments. I keep telling people don't put stuff in the comments if it's personal. Just email me. I love to get back to people. I try to email them back. We've had. I don't think we have. Yeah, I don't think we have that here. If we do, I don't. I've never heard of it, which don't mean nothing. There's lots I haven't heard of. Live a pretty simple life. Pretty much, if my dad didn't introduce it to me, and I've never heard of it, probably never heard of it. I don't think I've heard your son talk about that either. That type of fish. I know he talks a lot about whenever he was a kid going to Florida and catching fish and stuff and riding his bicycle and putting stuff fish or crabs or something in a basket. He has a lot of good memories of that. In the summertime, going to spend it at his grandparents camp in Florida when he was a kid. I guess he's already done gone to bed over there. He's tired. He had to work. This was his week to work late. So he had to work 5/12s instead of 5/10s. And it just about wore him out. Hmm. Well, that's cool. Godly home. Yeah, that's probably something y'all have more up north that don't see down here much. It's just gotten so hard around here to even find a place that you can go fishing unless you have a boat nowadays. Is it's just they've closed so many places down that used to be fun to take families to go to picnic and fish, but and I think because of crime and people liking to vandalize stuff and trash and stuff, they've just closed a lot of places down around here, which is aggravating, but it was a great thing that we did when we were kids. We used to go to the spillway and go fish and crawfish and get crabs, and it was lots of good fun memories when I was a kid. You used to do that, and it was pretty safe back then. Yeah, there's still a couple places around here where you can go in canoes. There's just it's not very good for fishing though. Just more or less just to go right around on the canoe, but yeah, our state parks here aren't they're nice, but my son, since he's moved to Texas, he said they're just so much nicer over there by where he's at compared to what we have here. And even when we went to Pennsylvania to see my mother-in-law, their state parks was just totally different than ours down here. Very well kept and taken care of. And we do have a few that are pretty good, but um, that's about our best chance for going fishing other than to go out in a boat or go with some friends in a boat. And it's just gotten to be such a party parade type thing to where everybody just rides around, looks cute instead of going fishing. There's just not really a lot of places to go unless you have a really good skiff to where you can get out way out and go fishing. So all the places we used to go when we were kids is just like a parade where people just go hang out at now. Just kind of turned into partying more than sportsman stuff, fishing and hunting and crabbing like we used to do when we were kids. Yeah, if y'all haven't seen Rough Cut, I know he's from Louisiana too. He has a lot of good videos off grid living, built the cabin from the ground up off grid by himself with his family. Um, does a lot of good Christian Bible studies, a lot of good humor, short videos I just absolutely love. Just keeps me rolling laughing. I don't know how you come up with all that stuff, Rough Cut, but I love it. Absolutely love it. And I love the straightforwardness, down to earth. It's just a good little channel. Does pretty good with all of his stuff. So if y'all haven't checked out his channel, y'all go check him out. If y'all know how to drop links, y'all can drop your link. I'm not sure how to do all that just yet, but yeah, Rough Cut keeps me laughing. Every time I see his name pop up in the news feed, I'm like, oh, y'all know this is gonna be good. This is Rough Cut. He's got some cute stuff. I don't really see nobody else talking much. I know Godly Home's on here. She does a lot of good Bible studies. And Miss Karen is my mother-in-law. And Rough Cut and my moderator is on here, which is my neighbor. So everybody knows everybody. And there's a few others on here that hasn't said hello. So go ahead and say hello so we can see who you are. We're just doing a free for all, I guess, here. Just practicing, trying out the live streaming, seeing how it goes, getting comfortable with it so I can actually do some live streams and actually have a topic. Oh, you're welcome, Rough Cut. I genuinely mean that. I absolutely love and enjoy your channel and your humor 100%. Yeah. And I love your Bible studies. They're serious, they're straightforward, they're honest, they're real. Absolutely need more men, especially in the world, teaching the younger men some things that, a lot of young men don't have fathers and didn't have fathers. And I don't know if you did or not, but I think it's great now that you're older sharing that. Mm. Yeah, I keep seeing a couple pop in and out, so I'm not sure. I know a handful of you, but there's about, I guess, two or three keeps popping in and out, but I'm not sure who they are. But they're being nice. They're not saying anything. They're not saying anything ugly either. So that's always awesome. I always try to remind people, leave friendly comments and to be nice. The world's got enough ugly in it. We don't have to be ugly. Go find other channels if you want to be ugly. So far, that's been great. I think that's the only other one on here that I can see that makes videos is Godly Home. She's doing Bible studies and she does cooking and stuff. Does really good too. She's in Maine. I guess me and her's been friends probably shortly after I started. I think I've been on here almost 2 years, a year and a half, almost 2 years. So I think I was on here for almost 2 years, but I didn't start making videos till almost 6 months later because I was so shy. But yeah, she's sweet too. She's been doing Bible. I think she's calling it Testimony Thursday. She's doing really good with that. Really good little information she shares with everybody. Yeah, I don't think nobody else that I can see. Not right now. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all good night. Hope y'all have a good night. And I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. And thank you all for joining the live stream. Sorry it wasn't too organized or anything, but I just want to practice while it wasn't a lot of traffic on here. Just one-on-one, which is great for me, having a smaller group. I'm more comfortable like that anyway. So, all right, I'm going to bed too. Hope everyone has a blessed night. Don't forget to say your prayers, and I'll see y'all back as soon as I can. Y'all all welcome, and y'all have a good night. And thanks for joining me.